Life can become truly complicated at times, can't it? We might find ourselves without a penny, overwhelmed with pressures and obligations, or even with a broken heart consumed by melancholy. But remember, you are not alone. Many people are on this journey, and even great sages like Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius faced similar challenges. They experienced moments of sadness, loneliness, pain, and felt underestimated. And do you know what they discovered? That our thoughts have a tremendous impact on us. If we focus only on the negative and don't know how to handle obstacles, life can become even harder. That's why I want to share something that might be useful. Today I'll talk about 17 Stoic teachings that will help you overcome anxiety, sadness, and uncertainties. If you are willing to change, then have the courage to stay until the end of this video. These teachings come from an ancient time, but are incredibly relevant even today. Remember, the wisdom of the Stoics is within reach for all of us. It's a matter of practice and persistence, finding a balance between reason and emotion. Let's explore these teachings together and discover how we can apply them in our daily lives. First lesson: everything that happens in life is temporary, so allow yourself to relax. Have you noticed how many likes, comments, or views your last social media post received? Sometimes, without realizing it, we give others control over how we feel. It's as if we're constantly seeking external approval, acting in a calculated way to gain admiration from others, and even avoiding certain behaviors to not be criticized or left out. But reflect on this for a moment. Even great leaders faced these dilemmas. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most influential Roman emperors, pondered that both he and his humble charioteer would face the same fate and rest under the same earth. This reminds us of an essential truth. Fame and popularity are ephemeral. As much as we might imagine they make us immortal, in the end, everything fades away. Stoic philosophy guides us that true value lies in being a person of integrity, doing good, and focusing on what we can control. We should not confuse external success with what is truly valuable. Patience in difficult times, self-confidence, forgiveness for those who hurt us, perseverance in our purposes, and the courage to be authentic. Therefore, what really matters is being the best version of ourselves, regardless of external circumstances. It's finding meaning in our actions, cultivating genuine relationships, and discovering joy in the small things in life. This is the path to a meaningful and sorrow-free existence. Moreover, by focusing on internal values like kindness and justice, we develop a solid foundation to face adversities with serenity. In today's world, where we are bombarded with constant stimuli, it's essential to remember that inner peace comes from within. By freeing ourselves from the incessant need for external approval, we find the freedom to be true to ourselves. Interesting how these Stoic teachings, despite being millennia old, still have so much to teach us today, right? Before we dive deeper into these valuable lessons, how about committing to bringing more wisdom and happiness into your life? Subscribe to the channel and leave your like so you don't miss content like this. And here's a special challenge for you. Comment, "I choose Stoic wisdom," and I'll leave a little heart on your comment. Let's embark on this journey of self-discovery and growth together. Second lesson: treat yourself like a loyal friend, not a harsh critic. There's an ancient story that illustrates this idea well, involving a common situation many of us have experienced. Imagine yourself on any given day, catching yourself speaking to yourself in a critical and harsh manner. Perhaps you made a mistake at work and started telling yourself harsh things like, "How could I be so incapable?" or "I always do everything wrong." What we need to remember is the advice Demetrius of Alexandria offered. Remember, you are not speaking to an enemy. Be kinder to yourself. This shows us how easy it is to become our own relentless critics, trapped in a cycle of negative thoughts that diminish us rather than help us grow. Stoic philosophy teaches us the importance of being kind to ourselves, of becoming our own friends, and cultivating a primary internal connection. When Demetrius talks about being kind to yourself, he suggests offering understanding instead of self-criticism, avoiding devaluing or diminishing oneself. This approach does not lead us to growth or virtue. On the contrary, it traps us in negative patterns. The way we speak is crucial. It's impossible to progress in life if we treat ourselves with disrespect or belittle ourselves. Kindness begins with our relationship with ourselves, recognizing our own humanity. This includes overcoming anxiety through practices like mindfulness, focusing on the present, and avoiding worries about the future. We can also use breathing and relaxation techniques to calm the mind. Always remember, you deserve kindness and compassion, especially from yourself. When we are kind to ourselves, we create an internal space where we can grow and develop, without the weight of self-criticism holding us back. It's also important to realize that everyone makes mistakes, and that's part of being human. When we accept this, we allow self-compassion to flourish, strengthening our resilience and preparing us to face challenges with more confidence. By treating ourselves as a loyal friend, we pave the way for a more balanced and fulfilling life. Third lesson, accept everything that comes your way. When we resist reality and fight against what is, we end up suffering unnecessarily. Instead of wishing things were different than they are, we should embrace them as they are. If this is the will of nature, this is the Stoic maxim that guides us. Today we have a similar saying, let it be done what must be done. Regardless of what we call it, whether nature, destiny, or anything else, it's essential to accept that there is a force greater than us and that not everything is under our control and not everything revolves around us. For example, many question why some people are born so privileged while others struggle to have the basics. This is beyond our control. Even if we were not born with many material or financial privileges, this is not something we control. However, we can control how we act in life, learn, evolve, and overcome adversities to achieve our dreams. For the Stoics, true acceptance is voluntarily accepting what happens in life. Zeno illustrated this principle of acceptance with the metaphor of sailing on a river. We are like sailors in a river, and the currents represent circumstances we cannot control. Just as the sailor has some control over the direction of the boat, but not over the strength of the currents, we face similar choices in life. When the river flows, we can choose to fight against the current and wear ourselves out or flow with it and navigate more calmly. Believing we can stop the flow of the river or that it will never change brings suffering. In contrast, by accepting the currents as a natural part of the journey, we can adapt to the challenges and joys of the journey with less suffering. Seneca teaches us that fate leads those who accept and drags those who resist. Resisting is being dragged by the circumstances of life, which inevitably causes suffering. Accepting reality as it is and focusing our efforts on what we can control is the wisdom that guides us to a more balanced and serene life. Furthermore, recognizing that change is a constant in life helps us better prepare for it. Acceptance does not mean resignation, but the ability to see things as they truly are and from there, make wiser decisions. By embracing this perspective, we can find peace even amid uncertainty and chaos, knowing we are aligned with the natural flow of life. Fourth lesson, practice gratitude and abandon the relentless pursuit for more. It's as if we are always chasing happiness, like a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Think of yourself dreaming for so long of success, fame, and recognition for your work. And when you finally achieve these goals, how would you feel? Was it as fulfilling as you expected, or was there a certain emptiness? The truth is, even when reaching our objectives, sometimes we don't feel completely satisfied. If we don't take care of this feeling of dissatisfaction, we might start feeling envy, acting with pettiness and selfishness, and worse, ending up feeling empty inside. Perhaps you've felt this way before or know someone who, even having everything, seems unable to find true satisfaction in life. Always wanting more and never feeling content is different from having ambitions and working to improve life. Having goals propels us, but constant dissatisfaction puts us under constant pressure to achieve more, as if what we have is never enough. Stoic teachings show us that true value is within us, not outside. Trying to fill that void with external things keeps us trapped in a cycle of dissatisfaction, never truly allowing us to be happy. It's better to live simply, looking within ourselves for our true value. This way, we can control our desires and avoid the trap of thinking we always need more and more to achieve happiness. By practicing gratitude, we begin to value what we already have, recognizing the small blessings of everyday life. This doesn't mean we should abandon our dreams and aspirations, but rather that we can find satisfaction and joy along the way, not just at the final destination. Cultivating gratitude teaches us to recognize the value of experiences, people, and opportunities that are already part of our lives. By doing so, we become more aware of the present moment and less obsessed with a future happiness that never arrives. Moreover, by focusing on gratitude, we develop a sense of inner abundance, which protects us against envy and resentment. We see that true wealth lies in our ability to love, grow, and learn, not in accumulating goods or external recognition. Gratitude connects us to the essence of life, allowing us to appreciate each moment and each achievement with a full heart. Fifth lesson, focus on walking your own path. Seneca talks about an idea called euthymia, which essentially means following our own path in life, keeping focus away from past distractions and comparisons with others. Achieving this state of tranquility requires discipline and confidence in ourselves and the choices we make. It's impossible to feel this inner peace if we don't trust that we are fulfilling our role in this life. Today, we are more connected than ever, which often leads us to constantly compare ourselves to others. When we are not busy reading random comments or following celebrity gossip, we can better focus on our personal growth. Valuing our progress without comparing ourselves to others is a valuable lesson Seneca teaches us. Each of us has a unique journey, and we lose sight of our path when we start measuring ourselves by others' standards. It's common to feel pressured when seeing someone achieving great feats before 40, a digital influencer showcasing an apparently perfect life, or a friend investing in financial opportunities while we feel lost. However, it's important to remember Marcus Aurelius's words in Meditations. Do not waste the rest of your life worrying about the lives of others. These things only distract you from taking good care of your own soul. Understanding and accepting that we are on our own path without the need to compete or feel inferior brings genuine freedom. So, next time you feel like comparing yourself, pause for a moment and be grateful for your own journey. Sixth lesson, expand your vision, improve your perspective. In the book Meditations, Marcus Aurelius, who was the ruler of the greatest empire in the world at the time, Rome, encourages us to adopt a broader view of life, similar to Plato's approach, seeking to see beyond what is immediately in front of us. Even occupying a position of great power, Marcus Aurelius reflected on how his vast empire seemed insignificant in the face of the universe as a whole. He reminds us that by ceasing to focus solely on the immediate present and considering the long history of humanity, we realize that many events repeat themselves. This same idea is expressed in the Bible, telling us that generations come and go, but the earth remains forever. By reading Meditations, written over 2,000 years ago, we can observe that despite changes over time, our inner essence remains relatively constant. Life continues to follow its course, regardless of technological advances or global events. This perception brings us comfort, as we recognize that our emotions and the way we deal with them are persistent aspects of the human condition. This encourages us to adopt a more humble stance and to see the world more clearly. By broadening our perspective, we realize that many of the things we overly value may not be as significant, while small details may have immense value. Having a broader view of life helps us appreciate our own existence more and better, understand our place in the long history of the world. Additionally, by expanding our vision, we can free ourselves from trivial worries and see how each experience contributes to our personal journey. Seeing the world more broadly allows us to perceive that we are part of something greater and that our actions and decisions have an impact not only on our lives, but also on others and the environment we live in. This understanding motivates us to act with more responsibility and empathy, knowing we are interconnected in a grand tapestry of life. Seventh lesson, set aside moments to care for your mental health. Seneca offers us a precious teaching. It is crucial to nourish our minds, whether through outdoor walks, deep breathing practices, or other activities that promote mental well-being. If we neglect this, we run the risk of feeling exhausted or overly stressed. So, tell me, what activity do you practice daily to care for your mental health? These practices are not just physical exercises for the body, they are opportunities to move the body while calming the mind. It's as if you are taking a break to soothe your thoughts. Seneca stated that we must master our minds, even if it's challenging. Trying something new in terms of exercise helps to calm and soothe the mind. When we exercise, our body releases hormones like serotonin and endorphins, which make us feel happier and more relaxed. These hormones also help reduce feelings of anxiety and depression, leaving us well and wanting to repeat the experience. In other words, the desire to exercise arises from the very act of exercising. Therefore, start now. If you find it difficult to go to a gym or go for a walk, don't worry. This shouldn't be an obstacle to starting. There's a world of free online classes on YouTube waiting for you, from meditation and yoga to home strength training, which can help you take that first step. Don't put it off or make excuses like, "I already do a lot of things," or "I'll see tomorrow." Procrastination only keeps us away from the mental peace we seek so much. As Seneca said, "Abandon all obstacles and dedicate your time to obtaining a healthy mind, for no person can achieve it if they are busy." Eighth lesson, face your problems head on. "No one feels more unhappy than he who has never faced difficulties," said Seneca, highlighting that these people never had the chance to test themselves. It's crucial to remember this when we encounter obstacles or when things don't go as planned. We must start seeing these moments as opportunities, a chance to exercise our virtues. The Stoics believed that it is in obstacles that we find ways to practice excellence, and, more than that, an opportunity to show our true value, even if only to ourselves. Epictetus stated that difficulties reveal a person's character. It is in this way that we become better, learning to resist and persevere as mature human beings. Of course, we all prefer things to happen as planned and easily. But life isn't like that. If we only seek the easy path, we crumble at the first obstacles. Next time you encounter a difficult situation, think about how you want to act. Do you see it as an opportunity to learn and strengthen yourself, or do you give in to frustration and see it as a reason to give up? Problems may keep appearing, but believing they are opportunities to learn and overcome gives us more strength to face them. Ninth lesson, there is always a new opportunity, just see it. Sometimes it's crucial to remember that each day brings a new chance to start over. Think of a student who, each semester, begins new classes and faces new challenges. Regardless of how he performed in the previous semester, whether with excellent grades or difficulties, he needs to start again with determination and effort. In the same way, just as flowers bloom each spring and leaves fall in autumn, life offers us continuous cycles of renewal. Each new beginning is an opportunity to learn, grow, and reinvent oneself. Accepting this idea helps us maintain hope and motivation, even when facing difficulties and sadness. Sometimes we may feel depressed, anxious, or caught up in thoughts that make us feel trapped in a repetitive situation. Before we take everything too seriously, it's important to remember that what happens to us is not unique. Many people have gone through the same things we have, and many more will. The Stoics faced similar challenges, and even after 2,000 years, their teachings remain relevant. It's easy to believe that our experiences are unique and that we will never overcome what has happened to us, but the truth is that we are not as special as we think, and what happens to us is not as significant as we imagine. Perhaps this understanding helps us not to take everything so seriously, to let go of the weight of the past, and to face each day as a new opportunity. Just like a student who needs to reach his goal every semester, we need to be present and start anew each day. Each day is a new chance to be proud of who we are and to seek our best. 10th lesson, seeing beyond emotions. Often, our emotions can distort our perception of reality, leaving us anxious or discouraged. For example, when someone doesn't respond immediately to a message, we might feel ignored without considering that the person may be busy with other simple tasks. Similarly, when being ignored by a clerk, we might interpret this as a sign of lack of importance, without realizing that he is overwhelmed with work. How many times have we blown a problem out of proportion because of our emotions? The Stoics teach us to see things objectively, focusing on facts and avoiding letting emotions distort our view. Imagine your emotions as a thermostat that unnecessarily heats up simple situations. A message not responded to quickly can turn into a big drama in our minds, when in reality it could be a neutral situation. Stoic philosophy reminds us that an event is objective. It is us who add meaning through our judgments. We must learn to see things as they really are, without adding an emotional burden that distorts our perception. By adopting this perspective, we gain mental clarity and avoid overreacting to problems. Therefore, next time you face a challenge, try to approach it objectively, adjusting your emotional thermostat to stay calm. 11th lesson. Listen twice as much as you speak. Have you ever wondered why we have 2 ears and only 1 mouth? Epictetus reminds us that this was not by chance, but for an important reason. Not to get caught up only in our own voice, but to learn from the voices of others. Imagine being in a team meeting where everyone is sharing their experiences and suggestions. If we spend more time attentively listening to what each person has to say, we can learn new ideas and better understand different perspectives. Instead of simply repeating our own opinions, we can enrich our thoughts by absorbing the knowledge and experiences of others. So, starting today, how about giving more space to attentively listen to the voices around you, instead of dominating the conversation? This habit not only makes us wiser, but also strengthens our interpersonal relationships, showing others that we value their opinions and experiences. Stoic wisdom teaches us that true understanding comes from attentive listening and not from incessant speaking. 12th lesson. Always anticipate the worst. Often, we find ourselves anxious and worried about what the future holds. Concerns like the possibility of our children facing difficulties in school, the fear of losing our jobs, worries about the stability of our relationships, or financial concerns like bankruptcy can consume our thoughts. These fears are natural, but when we allow them to dominate our minds, they can lead us to a constant state of stress. Epictetus, with his Stoic wisdom, offers a radical perspective. Imagine that all these feared situations have already occurred. This does not mean resignation, but rather a mental exercise to strengthen our ability to face the worst possible scenario. For example, when considering the possibility of losing your job, you can start thinking about contingency plans or improving your professional skills. Or, when anticipating financial problems, you can start saving more or seek financial advice. By adopting this mindset, we not only better prepare for challenges, but also develop a resilience that allows us to navigate adversities with more confidence and calm. 13th lesson, be prepared to face failures. We all fear looking foolish or making mistakes, but Epictetus teaches us that being considered foolish can be a fundamental step for growth. Imagine a young musician who, when performing for the first time, makes public mistakes. Instead of getting discouraged, he learns from his failures and becomes a more experienced artist. Similarly, an entrepreneur might launch a product that doesn't initially succeed. Instead of giving up, he uses this experience to improve the next launch. These examples illustrate how failures can be stepping stones to success, allowing us to learn, adapt, and eventually achieve excellence. Accepting failure as part of the learning process teaches us to face challenges with courage and determination. Stoic philosophy reminds us that each mistake is a disguised opportunity, offering us valuable lessons that prepare us for the future. By accepting our imperfections and recognizing that failing is part of the human journey, we become stronger and more resilient, ready to face any difficulty life presents. 14th lesson. Be aware of the dangers associated with fortune. The pursuit of wealth often leads us down a path full of traps and emotional challenges. It's not just the risk of being surrounded by people who approach us out of interest, pretending friendship. Money has a transformative power that can profoundly affect who we are. By becoming owners of this much-desired resource, we often discover new facets of ourselves that we hadn't explored before. It's at this point that our moral integrity can be compromised by the temptation to prioritize the material over the fundamental values that underpin our humanity. Wealth can also distance us from the simplicity and true essence of life. Stoic philosophy teaches us to value what truly matters, such as wisdom, virtue, and character. When we let ourselves be carried away by the relentless pursuit of material goods, we can lose sight of these essential qualities that define us as human beings. Therefore, it's important to keep our feet on the ground and remember that true wealth is not in possessions, but in the way we live and interact with the world. 15th lesson: do not fixate on a single hope. As individuals, we are naturally drawn to a variety of interests and aspirations. It is important to recognize that placing all our expectations on a single dream can be risky and even discouraging if things don't go as planned. Epictetus reminds us of the importance of diversifying our goals. By pursuing multiple objectives simultaneously, we increase our chances of achieving at least one of them. This not only offers us a sense of balance and emotional security, but also allows us to explore different aspects of life and adapt to the changes that may arise along the way. Cultivating multiple passions helps us develop a broader and richer view of life, allowing us to grow and learn in ways we may not have considered before. By opening ourselves to new experiences and interests, we discover hidden talents and potentialities that enrich our journey. 16th lesson: always remember the inevitability of death. By reflecting on death as the final destination of all our journeys, we are not being pessimistic, but rather conscious of the reality of life. This understanding encourages us to deeply evaluate how we invest our limited time here. For example, considering whether it's worth spending 2 decades of life saving to buy a house, knowing that, despite its importance, we won't be able to take it with us when we depart. Keeping a small notebook with these Stoic principles can be valuable. It helps us not to see setbacks as disasters, nor life as an inexhaustible resource, but rather to adopt a more realistic view of our existence and make the most of our time here on Earth. By keeping in mind the transitory nature of life, we are encouraged to live more fully and present, appreciating each moment as a unique gift. 17th lesson: true wealth lies in finding inner contentment. Epictetus, influenced by Stoicism, offers a profound view of happiness that can be understood through one of his iconic phrases: "A wise person is one who does not concern themselves with what they do not have, but rejoices in what they do have." This reflection goes beyond a simple thought. It is advice for us to learn not to worry about what is not yet present in our lives. By allowing lamentation and worry to take hold of us for what we lack, we lose precious moments of gratitude for everything we have already achieved up to this point. Often, what we possess far exceeds what our eyes are accustomed to valuing. Therefore, a truly rich person is one who finds joy and contentment in everything they possess internally. By seeking inner contentment, we discover that true happiness comes from within and is not dictated by external circumstances. This allows us to live with more serenity and balance, finding beauty and satisfaction in the simple things and in what truly matters. To conclude, how about choosing one of these 17 lessons I shared and starting to practice them this week? Remember that it is through your actions that you truly demonstrate what you've learned. Your actions speak more about you than any philosophy or teaching you may advocate. Perhaps you choose the practice of gratitude, starting each day by recognizing and valuing the small blessings you already have. Or maybe you decide to face your problems head-on, seeing them as opportunities for growth and personal development. Whatever the chosen lesson, remember that Stoic wisdom invites us to turn thought into action. We all face sorrows and difficult emotions, and the fact that you've made it to the end of this text shows that you're willing to seek tools that will help you achieve your goals. As Seneca said, life is too short to be small. Therefore, fill your days with meaning, authenticity, and courage. Remember that the journey towards wisdom is continuous, and that every small step counts. By applying these teachings in your daily life, you not only enrich your own existence, but also positively impact the world around you. May your quest for wisdom be full of discoveries and achievements. Stoic wisdom provides a rich path amidst the complexities of modern life. Throughout this journey of self-discovery, it's inspiring to see how these lessons can guide us in seeking balance and tranquility. If you've made it this far, it shows your persistence and dedication to personal growth and inner freedom. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and share this video with someone who might benefit from these valuable reflections. And of course, don't forget to comment to the end, so I know you've been with me all the way. Now on the screen, I'm leaving 2 special recommendations for you to continue your journey. Choose one of the videos and dive even deeper into self-knowledge. See you there.